everybody's got a story that will bring people to their knees if you'll just take the time to listen to it. Who would imagine in a million years that was Julie's story? And that's where we are. God bless you. We love you, Julie, and thank you so much. And we're going to move right along. Next speaker up. I've known for a long, long time. I knew him before Fardulis, actually, but Scott takes credit for him because Scott had the guts and the ability and the talents to enroll him and bring him into longevity. I just was intimidated by him because he was such an amazing guy. He is just the cutest guy in the world. And I have to tell you my funniest story about him. He had this little boy. So I used to be on the radio every day, and he had this little boy that just hated me. So I was on between 7 and 10 in the morning, and the little kid just hated listening to the radio because it was a business radio station. And he goes, "Why do we have to listen to that guy, Dad?" So Dan called me on the phone and said, "Tom, my son thinks you're quite boring." I said, "Well, let's have him listen tomorrow. What's his favorite sport?" He said, "Baseball." So I had this co-host named Woody Vincent, and we got on the phone, and Woody and I on the radio, we called Dan and said, "Tell your son to listen right now." So they're going to school, and all of a sudden, little Vincent, 5 years old, is listening to the radio. And all of a sudden, I said, "Well, I can't believe what happened to me this morning, Woody." And Woody goes, "What happened?" I go, "Well, I was in Starbucks, and all of a sudden, I see these 2 Major League Baseball scouts." And Woody goes, "Yeah, Tom, what happened?" I go, "Well, it's crazy. They were in town to scout this kid. His name's Vincent Gibbons, and the kid can throw, the kid can hit, the kid can do it all." And that poor Vincent's eyes got like absolute marbles. And to this day, he's about to graduate from Cherry Creek High School. And the kid is heartbroken because the baseball season is completely wiped out. He's going to the Colorado School of Mines after this. He'll probably play a little baseball there. But just those words, I'm taking credit for all of Vincent's life. So you just need to know that. He's got another son in Special Forces named Blaine. Unbelievable guy. He's a personal development coach. And what people don't know, prior to that, he had a monster network marketing career. He is a man of systems, culture, doing it by the book in the right way, which is another reason he likes Scott more than me, because they're just cross T's, dot I's kind of guys. Dan Gibbons is my man. How are you, Dan?
I am doing well, my friend. How are you?
Is that story true?
Oh, yeah. That was so funny, because what Vincent had actually said is, "Dad, why do you listen to that radio station? It's just blah, 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 blah. What's that guy talking about?" And then, then Tom's talking about Vincent Gibbons, this young kid that's already on the radar screen for the scouts. And Vincent's like, "Did he just say my name?"
And it's funny because my kids still say the same thing about Tom. It's crazy.
Hey, actually, I'd like to get some participation from Tom and Sean and Scott on this in a moment. However, I wanted to acknowledge Julie. Great way to kick it off, Julie. And I have something to say to you and all moms. After this virus hit, and just like that, nobody ever asked a stay-at-home mom what she does all day long.
Oh, no kidding.
and so I think a lot of us now, a lot of the men have a deeper appreciation for what a stay-at-home mom does. And I always told stay-at-home moms that was the most important job in the world. So thanks for kicking it off, Julie. And with the nails, you have a product there right now that will certainly get people's attention real quick here, because I saw a meme from a friend of mine that said, "This is about to get real here. If I don't get my hair cut and colored here real soon, this is going to get real." And so anyway, name of my talk today is, let me start my clock. And the name of my talk today is It Just Me? And so one of the things I always talk to people that I coach on anything, and I use this with my own son, Vincent, with baseball. That's why I didn't coach him in baseball. I always got him the best coaches, because I always say to people, who are you listening to and why are you listening to them? And because so many times in network marketing, direct sales, people get excited about doing something, and the next thing friends, family, it's often people closest to us that don't understand the network marketing profession. They'll start saying things like, "Oh, what are you doing? Oh, that's a scheme," and "Oh, you'll never make any money in that." Well, my question is, the people that are saying that to you, that are poo-pooing it, have they ever made money in network marketing? Have they ever built a successful organization? Don't listen to somebody that never did anything successful in network marketing. Most of the people that have never been successful in network marketing, those are the ones that are saying the worst things about it. So if you really want to find out about network marketing and what's possible, you got to go talk to the people, like Tom and Denise, and you got to talk to Sean and Annalise, and talk to Scott and Juliet, talk to people that have really accomplished something. And so a big point I'm going to make today, if I could drive anything home, especially for anybody that's on this training that's relatively new to the business, and I would say relatively new is if you've been in longevity less than a year. Okay. If you've been in more than a year and you don't have the results that you want, you really want to listen also. And because along that line of who are you listening to and why are you listening to them, along that line is, now that you're in this business, the most powerful, the most influential, the most important person you will ever talk to when you're in this business is you. Let me repeat that. The most powerful, the most influential, the most important person you will ever talk to in your network marketing profession is you. How do you talk to yourself? Yep. And typically, if I'm in front of a large crowd, I'll ask people, how many of you know you talk to yourself? Raise your hand. And as often happens, not everybody raises their hand. But even the ones that don't raise their hand, they're sitting there thinking, do I talk to myself? No, I don't think I talk to myself. No. Oh yeah, I talk to myself. Yeah, we all talk to ourselves. The question is, what is your self-talk? I work with a concept in my training company called I Am. And the I Am concept, the founder of Psi Seminars, Tom Wilhite, and also another phenomenal trainer that Tom knew very well, Brian Clemmer, they always said that the I Am concept is the most powerful concept that you could work on in your life, that you could work with, because whatever follows those words, I am, you become, you attract. And so, so one of the things, even, I've worked with Scott. Scott has an I am statement. I have an I am statement. I've had this I am statement for, 30 years now, that I am a calm, patient, peaceful man, actively contributing my greatness to the world now. 30 years ago, that's not who I was. I was not a calm, patient, peaceful man. I have had that I am statement for 30 years, and it has served me very well. Most people's I am statements are very negative, I don't know if I could do this, or this just isn't for me. I could never be like Tom. I could never be like Scott. I could never be, So let's do this. Let's take this away from the network marketing arena. I'm going to do a little exercise with you, and you could just do it along at home. You're the only one that's going to see it. If you want to create maximum value in this exercise, or any exercise you ever do with me, you got to be honest with yourself. If you're not honest with yourself, don't even bother doing it. It's just a waste of time. However, if you will be honest with yourself right now, when you do this exercise, I am going to make a very important distinction for you here, because oftentimes people that are not successful in network marketing, they attempt to make it about the company, something about the company and something outside of them. But let's take a look at this. So if you got a pencil and paper handy there, this is where I wanted to get some participation from Tom and Sean and Scott. And so Tom and Sean and Scott, so it's just not my words, okay? what are some of the most powerful activities? I want to get 4. Mine that I'm going to put out there. I'm going to start off with, and then I want to get some input from Tom and Scott and Sean. I want folks. I want you to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being low, 10 being high. 1 being low, 10 being high. I want you to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 in these following areas. For me, one of the most powerful activities you could do. See, I don't want this to be subjective. I want this to be something that we could measure. So in my opinion, one of the most powerful things you could do to be successful in this business is 3-way calls. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how effective and, how often, 10 being the best you could do, so how effectively and how often are you doing 3-way calls? Write a number down there between 1 and 10. Okay. So Tom, what would you say is one of the most important activities somebody could do to be successful in this business?
Recognizing your leadership, calling them and recognizing the new people and calling them and creating that accordion of activity.
Okay. So recognition, folks, how on a scale of 1 to 10, how often do you recognize and praise, people in your organization? Great one. Sean, how about you? What's an activity that you feel is important to success?
One-on-one coaching calls. So,
Uh-huh.
right, not just coaching, but holding them accountable to the best of your ability. So being able to set goals and track progress.
Okay. So, one-on-one coaching calls, mentoring, working with your people. Scott, how about you?
The art of storytelling and telling it on yourself and making sure that you're authentic about where you've come from so people can relate to you and they can feel like, they stand a chance and they can do it too.
Okay. And I will throw in one more. How much time, energy, and effort do you put into training and learning yourself? Because I believe in this business, if you're not feeding your mind more than you're feeding your stomach, you're not going to be as successful. And when you start feeding your mind more than you're feeding your stomach, you're going to be more successful and you're going to be healthier. That'll be a great byproduct. And so thank you, Sean and Scott and Tom, for your input on that. So now, folks, if you take that 5th one that I put out there about how committed are you to learning, because it does take a commitment to learning, and what are you doing to learn and train yourself and how to be successful in this business. And so you have 5 there. So on a scale of 1 to 10, let's say you rated something a 7. Let's work on a 100-point system. Let's say that's 70 points. So take those 5 areas and add them up and divide by 5 and come up with a score. You might have a score, around 75 or 80. And oh, by the way, if you have a score of 95 or 100, your results should reflect that. If you have a 95 or 100 on all these things we just put out, you have got to be killing it. You have got to be rocking it. And if you have a 95 or 100, anything over a 90 to 100, then your results should reflect that. If they don't, then something's out there. Okay. And so now let's take it away from the network marketing profession. You have a score there. Let's just say, it's 70. If I had you to do the same exercise right now, but let's take it out of the network marketing arena and let's just do it in your personal life. If you picked out 4 or 5 areas in your life that are important to you, let's maybe say, health, your marriage, if you're not married, your kids, if you're divorced, how are you with your children and everything? Same thing. Where would you rate yourself, and, how you feel about yourself and everything? Take 5 important categories of your life and rate yourself the same way. And I'm going to submit to you that the scores are going to be pretty close. Why? Because it has nothing to do with network marketing. It has to do with you. It has to do with you. The sooner, it was one of the biggest realizations I came to in this business. When I realized that there is no line of demarcation between my personal life and my professional network marketing career, when they go hand in hand, the more successful I am at home, the more successful I am in my business. The more successful I am in my business, the more successful I am in my career. When you become more successful in your network marketing profession, it is going to spill over into your personal life. I promise you that. So it really isn't about the network marketing. It's about you. The title of my talk was, "Is it just me?" And oftentimes you'll hear people say, "Is it just me?" Or is the compensation plan pretty tough? Or is it just me? Or, do I have a lousy upline? Is it just me? Or, is, this product this or that or whatever? And you hear a lot of is it just me? And then they'll talk about something else. And here's the thing. No, it's like this. Is it just me? Or 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 it's you. It's you. And when you can work on you and you could get you right, you have some of the icons in the network marketing profession on this training. You have like some Hall of Fame members here. All of them could sit down and tell you exactly what you need to do to be successful. They could give you 100% success formulas, but all of those formulas are going to get filtered through your thinking and your limiting beliefs. And when they get filtered through your thinking and your limiting beliefs, maybe one of your limiting beliefs is, I've never made any money in network marketing. I've seen other people that I've never made any money. Well, I could promise you that thinking is going to stop you from making big money. And one thing that's interesting is you have incredible resources here. One of the things I would always ask my organization, I know what I'm strong at. I was very good at three-way calls. That was my, I did three-way calls all day long. I knew what I was good at. I knew what I wasn't good at. And so I would always ask people in my organization, are you using all your resources? Are you using all your resources? Okay. And I'll share something with you. A lot of people talk a big game about, oh yeah, I want to be successful in this and whatever. When I was training, when I was training people in my business, and I still do it to this day. So I'm going to give away one of my secrets that I won't be able to pull on anybody here. I have shared this with Scott before. However, I used to, when people would come to me and they were brand new, and I didn't have a lot of time for them at that time, but I wanted to find out, are they serious or not? I would give them a book to read. I would give them, I'm aging myself here a little bit, dating myself, but I would give them the book, The New Professionals, by, oh my gosh, forgetting the guy's name now. What's the guy's name, Tom, the little guy?
Charles King?
Yeah, Charles King. And so anyway, Dr. Charles King wrote this book called The New Professionals. It was all about professional people like lawyers, doctors, business owners that owned insurance companies and things like that, and how they left the illusion of a safe, secure career and went into network marketing and direct sales to create lifetime residual income. Well, I used to tell people, I'll tell you what, if they were brand new, I'd say, read this book, because I'm like Tom, I always had a case of books with me. I'd say, read this book, and when you're done with it, come to me and we'll do our first coaching session when you're done with that book. And let's say the book was 300 pages long. I would go into the book around the 275th page, and in pencil, I would write, when you get to this page, when you get here, call me for our coach. I'll take you to lunch for our first coaching session. And you know what? Only about 2 people out of 10 that I would give that book to would ever call me when they got to that page.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, you know that, right, Tom?
constantly.
Yeah, and so you know it takes commitment, you know, to be successful in this business. And the reason I'll circle back to my opening, you know, my opening dialogue is the most powerful, the most influential, the most important person you will ever talk to is you. And I could promise you, a negative mind will never give you a positive result or a positive business outcome. And so you have to really get control of your thinking. And, you know, all of us, Tom, Sean, Scott, and many other people on this call could all tell you horror stories of network marketing businesses that we were in that didn't make it. They went out of business or we failed miserably or whatever. And maybe that's something that you got to let go of. If I didn't let go of those failures, I would have never been successful in this profession. And I'm telling you, you know, I was not a big network marketing fan, you know, 25 years ago, 25, 30 years ago. However, if I didn't let go of those negative stories that weren't serving me, you know, you gotta let go of the negative stuff so it allows something new to come in. It's time for you to be the hero in a new story, not to be the victim in an old story. It's time to be the hero in a new story. And the final thing I'll say to you is this: I wore my pin today. This is one of the keys to being successful in network marketing. It says right there, accept your greatness. Accept your greatness. If you don't believe in you, you will never be believable. You will never be believable. And for the new people here, I'll also say this. You know, when you get into the, you know, network marketing, so many times, you know, what gets in the way of new people is the internal dialogue is, oh my gosh, what will other people say, or what will other people think when they find out I'm in network marketing? Those two phrases have killed more dreams than anything else on this planet. Than anything else on this planet. What will other people say, or what will other people think? Who cares? If you're not violating the rights of other people, if you're not breaking the law and you're going after your dreams, who cares what other people think? I love what one of my mentors said to me, Bob Proctor, many years ago. Bob said to me, Dan, if most people talked to you about what they were thinking, they'd be speechless. And that one always stuck with me. And so with that, I'm gonna turn it back over to Tom. So what kind of a commitment are you going to make to take control of the most important thing, which is this right here? This is the key to success. You got the right vehicle. You got the right vehicle with longevity. You got the right leadership. Everything else is in place. The only thing that you got to focus on and work on is this right here. Tom, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.